before the game. So it's a different kind of week since it's Monday Night Football for the Chiefs. Deion Clisso of Preps KC will preview the night in high school football. And then we'll talk to Tim Grunhard, Chiefs Hall of Famer. He'll be on the show in the 9 o'clock hour. Last night on Thursday Night Football, that was a wild game, a very entertaining game that did not look like it would be very entertaining on paper. The San Francisco 49ers pulled the upset over the Rams 26-23, which was remarkable because they were without their quarterback, Brock Purdy. They were without their receivers, their two playmaking receivers, Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings. George Kittle is injured. He's unavailable. They already lost Bosa earlier in the season. So up and down that roster, big impact players unavailable due to injury. And it's funny because if you listen to people around the country that talk about the NFL and cover the NFL and analyze the NFL, the big takeaway this past week was, well, when you have a bunch of injuries, there's no chance for you to win. And so it's just, there's no hope. You can't expect a team to win when several of their impact players are on the bench. At least that's what's being said about the Chiefs' victory over the Ravens. Not so much around here, but ESPN, whatever else you watch, all the people that try to explain away any success the Chiefs have nowadays. Oh, well, the Ravens, they didn't have this guy, they didn't have that guy. The Chiefs don't really deserve credit for that victory. It was more about the Ravens and who they were missing. Of course, the Chiefs' offense was going to look good, considering who was missing off the Chiefs, off the Ravens' defense. Doing whatever they can to take credit away from the Chiefs and explain everything away by pointing to all the injuries for the Ravens. Well, I guess the 49ers didn't get that memo that you're supposed to lay down and essentially wave the white flag when things get tough due to an injury situation in an important game in a battle of playoff contenders. Didn't the 49ers know their starting quarterback was hurt? Didn't the 49ers realize that their Hall of Fame tight end was hurt and their starting wide receivers are out and one of their best defensive players is out? Didn't someone tell them that? Well, they should have lost by a couple of touchdowns. I don't understand. What happened? Oh, they won. Didn't somebody tell Sean McVay and the Rams that they were supposed to win by a couple of touchdowns? Oh, don't worry about this. The 49ers have a bunch of star players out. You should walk right over them. But when you win, you won't get any credit. So what happens when you lose? Massive credit to Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers. Mac Jones, who was the star receiver that the Rams couldn't handle? Kendrick Bourne with 10 catches and 142 yards. Yes, they have Christian McCaffrey. They got to have somebody. Well, guess what? The Ravens still had Lamar Jackson for most of the game, and they still had Derrick Henry, and they still had Zay Flowers. They still had some pretty good players on the field, didn't they? Kendrick Bourne, Jake Tungus, Demarcus Robinson, MVS, Luke Farrell. Sky Moore got a carry. I mean, come on. And there were a couple of times that the Niners, it could have been, well, we fought hard, but it just can't overcome these injuries. And give in and the Rams win. No. The 49ers fought their asses off the entire night until ultimately in overtime, in a wild final play of the game, they're up 26-23, and the Rams either need to kick a field goal to tie to continue the game, or they could score a touchdown and win it. And they went for it on 4th and 1. And they were in field goal territory. They had issues on special teams, so nothing was given. That was pointed out in the broadcast. But they go for it, and San Francisco stuffs them. Kind of surprised at the unimaginative play from Sean McVay and the Rams after they went up to the line of scrimmage and tried to draw the 49ers offside. Couldn't do it, called a timeout. And this is what you like. Like, this game is a battle between two head coaches that are looked upon as two of the most innovative, creative offensive minds in football, right? And so I'm sitting there watching this, I'm thinking, oh boy, what's Sean McVay and the Rams going to cook up here? With Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua, who has caught more passes than anyone else in the NFL, and it's not even close this year. They're going to bring out their best play. This is going to be something special because the game's on the line. They could pretty much win it right here. This is going to be awesome. It wasn't awesome. It was not awesome. Kyron Williams, who had a back-breaking fumble in regulation when it looked like he was going to score the go-ahead touchdown, which could have been the game-winning touchdown, and he fumbled. They went right back to that well, and he got stuffed. That's not his fault. 49ers made a great play defensively, and they didn't block for him, but still, that was not what I anticipated. Like, oh, okay. Wow. Walk-off, 4th down stop by the Niners, and they beat the Rams. And again, that's a reminder, you can do what you want. But, man, when point spreads get to be over 6 or 7 points in the NFL, I stay away. Because it's the NFL. And none of these games are like Mizzou-UMass. It's just not. Now, could they end up as blowout? Sure, but you just can't. You can't expect it. You can't predict it. It's like the Saints gave the Bills a much tougher game than anyone anticipated last week. And hell, I mean, the 49ers went outright last night. What were they when it went off? Was it 8.5-point dog?
Yeah, I got them with 8.5.
When a team's an 8.5-point favorite, you're not really considering whether or not they're going to win the game. It's by how much. You see that, and you feel good about it. In the NFL, man, it's wild. And so I
saw it last Thursday, too, with the Dolphins and the Bills.
Yeah. It at times can be nonsensical. But these teams have a lot of pride. And early, like right now also, something else I think it's a factor. When you get later in the season, maybe I'll look at bigger point spreads in the NFL more because there are some teams that are their season's over. They're out of it. They're done. And maybe they're playing some younger players, or there's a little bit of give in, right? It's so early right now. Everyone with a straight face, well, we're still in it. Only a couple games out. It's still the first, just finished with the first quarter of the season.
And this is a healthy rivalry. I mean, those teams don't like each other.
No, this is of course. And these teams were both 3-1 going into the game. And a lot of people, even said this yesterday. With Jesse Newell, how are the 49ers 3-1 with all these injuries? Can you believe it? A team can overcome injuries and win games. Wow. Huh. So maybe, just go with me here, allow me this, just maybe the Chiefs deserve a little more credit for not only beating the Ravens, but kicking their ass. Maybe they deserve a little more credit than people are giving them. Because maybe it's just not so easy to go out and beat a team by 3 scores in the NFL.
How are you doing?
Regardless of injuries. You think? I think. Maybe I'm wrong. But again, nobody told the 49ers that they were supposed to lay down because of all the injuries to star players. Or at least impact players. Like Ricky Pearsall, he's a star on my fantasy team. But, and nobody told the Rams, oh, this is going to be an easy win. Or you know what? Maybe they did. Maybe they thought it was going to be. Nobody told Mac Jones that he wasn't supposed to throw for 342 yards against the Rams defense. Good God. Where was that on your NFL bingo card? That you were going to watch a game that had Mac Jones throwing for 342 and Kendrick Bourne catching 10 passes for $142. I didn't think I was going to see it. And it was a fun game too, man. You're thinking, oh, the Niners are going to jumped out to a 14-0 lead. What the hell's going on here? Then the Rams, they got control back. Oh, the Niners are going to win. They just kicked a 59-yard field goal. Okay. Oh, the Rams are going to win. Look, they're going to, they fumbled. Oh, the Niners are going to win. Oh, the Niners just ran the ball 3 times, couldn't get out of their own way in a drive where they could have put the game away. Now they got to punt back to the Rams. Oh, now the Rams are going to win. They're going to drive. Oh, they fumbled.
Don't forget when the
Niners are going to win. They're driving in overtime. Now they're going to,
the Rams tied it 20-20 and they got the extra point blocked.
Yeah. and that's I'm sure was on. Sean McVay seems to me like the kind of guy that's going for the win, not interested in the tie. But also, as I mentioned, that factors into the decision when you're going for it on fourth down, because special teams, there was no giving last night kicking the football. Boy, wild game on Thursday Night Football. That's why the NFL is great.
A lot of fun.
MLB playoffs. Man, you talk about a roller coaster ride. Tigers had a 14.5 game lead, blew it. Cleveland was one of the hottest teams in baseball the final month of the season. Not only caught the Tigers, but passed them, won the division. Their reward, you play the same Tigers in the wild card round, and you get home field advantage, and then you lose to them. The Tigers blow the division, but they beat Cleveland in the playoffs. Now they advance. Okay. Cubs beat the Padres, and they advance. And then the Yankees blank the Red Sox, and they move on to the ALDS. So now what you're left with is a quadruple header on Saturday. 4 game ones, starting with the Cubs and the Brewers, which should be terrific. The Yankees and the Blue Jays, which I don't know, man. It just feels like I hope the Blue Jays can win that series, but I don't have a lot of confidence in Toronto. Hopefully they prove me wrong. The Dodgers and the Phillies, that's going to be awesome. And then the Tigers and the Mariners. Now, to be honest with you, no idea what to make of that. None. No idea. You asking me who's going to win that? I mean, I feel pretty strongly about the Brewers beating the Cubs. I think the Dodgers will beat the Phillies. If I had to pick, I'd go with the Yankees. And then, I don't know, Tigers or Mariners, I'll root for Seattle, but I have no idea. But honestly, I don't have a great feel for any of this. I just feel like the Yankees will advance because I don't want them to. That's really the only thing I have to go on. But some interesting baseball ahead in the Major League Baseball playoffs. So lots of stuff going on. Yesterday, out at Arrowhead, we heard from Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and Trey Smith and Leo Chanel. So we'll play some of those clips throughout the show. And we'll also preview your weekend in college football with Kansas in action, K-State in action, and Mizzou on a bye. So Mizzou takes a step back, gets some rest, and gets ready for their gigantic showdown against Alabama next weekend. We'll take a break. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
What's up, Kansas City? Jake Gutierrez here. I'm here. We're talking about how fun the NFL, watching that game last night. Had all kinds of bets going. Had some anytime touchdowns going for Puka and Christian McCaffrey. It's a lot of fun. The NFL is rolling in full swing. The next chance that you have to check out some NFL action will be early morning as the Vikings and Browns are playing overseas. 8:30 a.m. kickoff. Vikings favored by 4.5 in that one. Check it out. Know that lines and odds are always subject to change. But most importantly, DraftKings Sportsbook is here. It's an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From first touchdown scores to any TD props, love those, or the thrill of live in-game betting. Every snap is loaded with opportunity. And here's the best part. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly, all with DraftKings. All you need to do is go download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. No brainer. Go do it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. That's code 810WHB, and turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets instantly if your bet wins. It's all in partnerships with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Kansas only. Eligibility restrictions apply. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, bet must win to receive reward. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of...
Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Boy, did you see the video of the umps, the crew, the umpiring crew from the Padres-Cubs game trying to walk off the field through the Padres, their exit was next to the Padres dugout, and how pissed off the Padres were, yelling at them and had to be held back. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. Because if you watch the game, and again, this is an argument for a challenge system for automated balls and strikes, it was a god-awful call in a huge situation where Bogarts, on a full count, that was a walk, and he would have been on first base. And that's kind of big in that situation, and they called him out, called a strike 3, and clearly if that system was in place now and you challenge that, that's a ball, right? And, I mean, did you see this thing? Did you see this video?
I have not. Good morning.
Good morning. Stan Weber here. Look at this. Look how pissed off the Padres are. And here comes the umpires. Look at that.
Wow. Because they are going through the same dugout exit.
You ever see anything like that?
No.
That was crazy. I mean, look, that ended their season. That just wasn't a game.
Right.
That ended their season. And just imagine if that was the Royals and we were watching that and that kind of call happened to them on the road somewhere.
So unfortunate.
And I know there's people that don't like ABS, but there's a place for it, and a challenge like that. I sure would like to see a call get right in a deciding game in the 9th inning in a playoff series. It's just me. But that was, oh boy. We have Stan Weber in studio. Stan, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Boy, oh boy. A lot of stuff going on. What did you think of that game last night? Can you believe a team can overcome injuries and play good football and win?
Yes, I can.
I've been told that's impossible all week long.
Well, you're listening to the wrong people.
Well, that's right. That's exactly right.
No, I think there's some real important takes because we've been coming on here on Friday mornings for many, many years after getting
32 years.
An NFL game on Thursday night, and we come in, and it's great to have that extra game, but so many times it's lethargic. The players don't look ready. The rest maybe from Sunday to Thursday isn't there. They don't play that way on Thanksgiving Day because that is a feature game, and everyone knows you better show out. So you can't say, well, Thanksgiving Day games are bad. No, they're fine. But these Thursday night games have not been good. We've talked about that. For a while there, they've had the stupidest uniforms ever, the Rush uniforms, whatever they're called. But you know what? I have to say this year, they are playing good football on Thursday nights. They are getting after it. They look sharp, crisp. They care. Maybe there's something about having division games on because I always believe division games are more competitive than they should be because the teams know each other. They draft to try to compete with each other. There's just an unbelievable competitiveness about it in division games. They know they count more in tiebreakers. I don't know what it is, but I just want to raise my hand up and say what I've been saying the last 5 years about Thursday night football not meeting my full expectation, nowhere close to what I see on Sundays. That's not what I've been seeing the last few weeks. These guys are playing hard, and that was great last night. Great competition, unbelievable play, competitiveness. Marquise Siegel, a K-State player who just was involved in a play where, I mean, when Stafford throws some passes, it is just incredible.
Right.
He hits, like a 40, 50-yard completion after he spun out of the pocket and rolls to his left slightly and rips a ball down the right side from a guy crossing from left to right before he steps out of bounds.
Tutu Atwell.
And Marquise Siegel's, a step or so behind. And you might say, well, you feel bad that you didn't make that play. Well, 4 plays later,
put that
on
hit
fourth down, he finished off the defensive stop, and San Francisco gets out with the win. Now, that's one thing I want to say is that the NFL's really providing great action on Thursday nights. Good job, guys. Next thing I want to say is, have you seen that John Gruden that quip where he talks about injuries in the NFL? Have you seen that? I don't know where
Refresh me. What is
well, I just saw it this week where he just went off about all the injuries in the NFL, and I agree with him 100%. These guys are getting injured so much because they refuse to prepare to play football. Okay? What do you do in training camp? What do you do when you go through preseason? You get ready to play football, and there's only one way. Ask all your football guests how you get ready for football. Full pads, play football. It's the only way you can get ready. You can't walk through and wear shorts and talk about it. It doesn't work, Stephen. You know that's true. Ask Grunhard. Ask anybody. You actually, it's football shape. It's different than anything else. It's not running. It's not lifting. It's not stretching. It is getting bruised and having your body somehow react and turn into steel-like. When I first, when we started practice, and the first couple of practices, I'd look back, and when I'm getting out of the shower, like my arm might be purple here and swelling there, and like, there's no way I'm going to make it through football season. There's no way. Look at this. This is hurt. I didn't even know it was hurt. And then a week or two later, what happens? I don't know, Stephen, but it doesn't even bother you. You just keep playing. Yeah, you can blow out your knee, or you can have an injury that affects you. You put a brace on. I get that. Strained shoulder, separated shoulder, whatever. You can have those injuries. But this is unbelievable. Just go down the list of the 49ers injuries. This early in the year, why is it happening? That didn't happen 25 years ago. The whole team wasn't decimated.
But even more,
like Gruden going off. He's like, you don't practice, you don't put on pads, you don't play in the preseason games. This is ridiculous.
Why does it happen to the 49ers every year?
And the Chargers.
Yeah, you throw the Chargers in there. But every year we wait, okay, when do the stars of the 49ers get hurt? Because it's going to happen.
Yeah. Now, I'll give you that, too. I mean, the Chargers seem to have injuries all over the place, and maybe it's their training program. But I think it's a story of the NFL right now. I can't remember the game recently that they didn't do that first introduction. We're talking 325 games where a big story from the analyst is, oh, they are missing. And it's like, they're missing 2 of their 3 starting linemen today.
Well, Jake and I can give it to you from the perspective of avid fantasy football enthusiasts. There are so many injuries that it's incredible, like left and right. Star skill position players that are dropping like flies. Am I right, Jake? It seems like
yeah.
it's
I mean, run down my teams. Mike Evans has been out. I had Joe Burrow. He's out. Jaden Reed from the Packers out. I mean, you just go up and down the line of Ricky Pearsall out.
But the Niners, Bosa's out.
Yeah.
He's a star player who usually is playing most of the year and a physical phenomenon. I'm just saying this is a trend that's been going on the last number of years, but this is ridiculous.
Najee Harris out.
Now, once a game starts, I forget about it. And I think the best coaches and the best quarterbacks overcome it and find a way to go win the games. So it doesn't really matter who's out there with them. You can still find a way to win. So, yeah, the Ravens last week, they had Derrick Henry. The coaching staff decided not to use him.
Right. Right.
Were they worried he's going to get injured, so they're saving him up for the rest of the year? Are they listening to us and going, well, we don't want to have Derrick carry the ball too much. Let's put him on a pitch count. How about like 6 or 7 carries?
It's crazy.
I mean, just they totally lost their mind. I mean, John Harbaugh has been knocking on the door of who do I think is the next best coach in NFL after Andy Reid. It used to be Andy Reid and Belichick. You had to say Belichick and Reid, but
right.
Andy Reid's the best coach in NFL. And now if we said, let's start talking about who we think would fill out the rest of our top 5, we are going to have some major questions because you might say, Tomlin, look what that guy does every year with the winning record. But you know the last time he won a playoff game? Like 8 years ago.
It was against the Chiefs in the 18-16 game.
Yeah. So, and Pittsburgh's not dominating the division, but Tomlin deserves a ton of credit. And then you start, well, Pete Carroll's one of those guys that's kind of been around there forever. He deserves a ton of credit. But I would go to John Harbaugh and say that Raven team is still relevant today, and Lamar Jackson holds them back. Okay, Lamar doesn't know how to win the big games. But, man, when you're going against Josh Allen and you're going against Patrick Mahomes, you need a little bit of room for, we don't need to jump on him too hard because how would you like to have your job be that you need to beat Patrick Mahomes every day?
Right. How would you like to be judged on beating Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs if you're Josh Allen?
Yeah.
But he's great. And
but Lamar's a whole step down below that.
I
like John Harbaugh. My point is I like
Right.
John Harbaugh. That game was so poorly coached. It's unbelievable. And they lost to Buffalo when they should have never lost to Buffalo. So John does not have his edge this year.
I haven't even that leads into a question I was going to ask both of you today. Watching that game, who's the better coach, Sean McVay or Kyle Shanahan?
I would say Kyle Shanahan. I like Sean McVay. He has been, like Scott Frost. I know Scott Frost, talked to him. He's gone to L.A. and worked. Everybody who's worked there is like a ton of knowledge is learned. It's a positive experience. Wouldn't you want your kid to play for Sean McVay? I mean, he has joy. He's a good coach. He's coaching a lot of other good coaches. But I think you need to have an edge. And I don't think Sean McVay has that edge. So I think Shanahan does.
Jake?
I mean, I think I lean McVay because he has the championship.
Now,
right?
see, now that's what most people say. But
Midway through the fourth quarter, twice San Francisco had it until Patrick Mahomes
but
turned it in.
I would respond if the Rams played Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, he wouldn't have had it. And the 49ers I'm not going to ding them because they got beat by the GOAT twice. But that is.
If they would have played Cincinnati, they would have won the Super Bowl.
Oh, I agree
Your
with that.
Your point, San Francisco.
Right. So, but I agree. That's a lot of people say that, but then I look at some of the guys, like McVay had to get Stafford, who's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yes,
right.
I hope
He got there and lost with Goff.
Right, and who turned out he's pretty damn good too.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say he's one of the.
That's one of the craziest trades ever. That both teams are happy.
Right.
But who did
Garoppolo
Shanahan get? He was in position to win a Super Bowl with Garoppolo. What happened to Garoppolo?
Purdy.
Right, but what happened to Garoppolo when he left?
Nothing.
He
was smiling for the Rams yesterday,
backup.
shaking the hands of Jones going,
do you even know where he is?
I do.
Where's he at?
Rams. He was on the field yesterday as a backup. He was shaking.
There
He had
you
a big
go.
smile on his face in postgame because I think he went over to Jones, and I think I interpreted this as welcome to being a San Francisco quarterback. Like it works. The system works. No,
yeah.
Everyone else needs a quarterback to win. Everybody else needs a quarterback to win.
But
Only
he also
Shanahan
went up and
is,
traded for Trey Lance, which is, I mean, the fact that didn't wreck him.
Right.
Well, he's not a good general manager. Andy Reid's a much better general manager.
He identified him, and I'm fairly certain.
But was he the guy who did it?
Was that John Lynch?
I mean, I would be hard pressed to think that John Lynch wouldn't have Shanahan's feedback and with the knowledge that he has.
But
on
if you criticize him for that, then you got to give him huge praise for drafting Brock Purdy in the 7th round.
I'm not a strong advocate to say Shanahan should be in my top 5.
I just thought that was interesting.
No, it's
watching
a
those
great
two
question.
coaches.
It's a great question, but I'm having trouble filling in my top 5.
Okay.
Because I used to say, man, give me John Harbaugh and Tomlin. I trust those guys. They win. But in 2025, that was awful. What John Harbaugh did last week, that team folded and quit.
Right.
Not only Lamar, which he will always do that, but not giving the ball to Derek when they're in trouble. They needed to stall the game out. Their defense stunk.
Spags owns this.
And then
3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. Not you say don't give it to him. He wasn't even on the field.
Wasn't even on the field. Come on.
Like even like as a decoy.
Wild.
And 2 different quarterbacks. And I know a lot about Cooper Rush because he was a Dallas Cowboy backup. I studied him a lot. He's a smart player. He's in over his head, okay? Until he goes to San Francisco, he'd probably throw for 300. But
No kidding.
seriously.
That's the truth.
Seriously. But 2 quarterbacks against the Chiefs on 4th down rolled out, not with someone about ready to take their head off and knock them back for a 10-yard loss, rolled out, gave up, and threw the ball into the stands. What the heck? It's 4th down. That's coaching, man. That is unacceptable. Lamar Jackson is such a quitter. He rolls out and goes, well, no one's open, and tosses the ball. One of the best runners in the NFL doesn't run.
He must have been watching Russell Wilson from the week before.
Well, Russ wants to throw it completely up in the stands because there's some, a kid up there who said, "I give you a ball."
Russ
okay,
is trying to save those stats.
oh, man,
Trying to build that Hall of Fame resume.
Lamar Jackson just tosses the ball, not in the middle of the field, up for grabs. You know, an interception, what that would mean? Extra yardage. Like throw a ball 10 yards downfield. You may get a PI. You may also get an interception and gain 10 yards. He just gives up, and then Cooper Rush does the same thing. A coach and John Harbaugh is just standing over there like, yeah, whatever.
Let me ask you guys this,
Whatever.
in this way. You don't have to answer now. You want to take the commercial break to answer it. and I hate this scenario, and I hope this doesn't happen, but it's just a way to ask this question. Let's say at the end of the season, Andy Reid said, I'm done, great career, I want to step back, I want to be with my family, I want to enjoy the rest of my life and not deal with football. And the Chiefs could go out and get any coach in the NFL, because guess what? They'd be falling over themselves to come to Kansas City and coach Patrick Mahomes in his prime.
Right.
And they come to Stan Weber, and they say, Stan, which coach should we get to replace, to I don't want to say replace Andy Reid, to take over for Andy.
Andy retired.
Right.
I understand what you're saying.
Right.
Who was your first pick to bring him in?
Right.
Well, the first thing would have to be that coach has to fully buy in and believe that Steve Spagnuolo should be the defensive coordinator. See, some owners say, we're going to hire you, but here's your defensive coordinator, and they don't believe. It's oil and water. That can't work, Stephen.
Right.
Behind the scenes, someone's got to say, oh, man, I'm so lucky. I cannot wait to work with Steve Spagnuolo. And who has that mentality? Sean McVay is the guy who I trust more than anybody else. I just talked about the love that he has, the positiveness. I think he would be like, oh, my gosh, I'm not changing anything on the defense. I love where we are with the general manager and our scouts, and I'll bring offense. He's got to be an offensive guy because he's got to match Patrick Mahomes' expectations. It is the most important thing when he walks in and talks to Pat. He can't say, like Coach Carroll is a great head coach, I think. He can't come in and hug Pat and say, we're going to be right. He's got to come in and impress him with offensive discussions, okay? So Sean McVay is probably the best guy who could work with a quarterback, adapt, and play along with Patrick. Let Steve Spagnuolo be the defensive coordinator. I think Sean McVay, because I think Shanahan has a little edge about him. I think he wants his guys. You know, I think he would walk in and go, well, you're not letting me be the full head coach. Steve Spagnuolo's a nice guy, but he's not my guy. So do you not believe in me? You see what I'm saying? He's got a little, I like the edge, but it wouldn't play right. Who's better than McVay? Has to be an offensive guy who's been a head coach.
O'Connell?
I would think about him too. He has not proven it yet enough. He's proven it that he can do it with underdog quarterbacks.
Right.
But they make a giant mistake. They think McCarthy's the right guy. He is not the right guy. Okay? The best thing that happened to Minnesota Vikings is he got hurt. Carson Wentz is better than McCarthy. McCarthy's just a good quarterback who, guess who always plays well when this coach is around? Mr. Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh creates fake news. McCarthy won a national championship at Michigan with Jim Harbaugh. He knows he's a quarterback whisperer, okay? He made McCarthy a good quarterback by winning a national championship. McCarthy's not an NFL quarterback at all. He is in over his head. Watch him throw a pass on the outside. It's like, oh, he strained his arm. He's like a college quarterback trying to play in the NFL. You see what I'm saying? You may disagree with me. I think McCarthy is not the Minnesota quarterback. And they got lucky that he got hurt because now they can go another direction. And McConnell's done a pretty good job with those guys, right?
Yes.
But Sean McVay's a whole step above that. He's gone with two quarterbacks.
I want McVay.
He's got Goff and now Stafford and Mahomes. I don't think there's anybody else. I may be missing somebody, but
we'll see what Jake says after the break.
Steve Spagnuolo needs to be the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs to be Super Bowl level.
I'm with you on that. We've got Stan Weber in studio. Back after this on WHB. Stephen St. John here from my friends at Diamonds Direct, and right now they offer no interest until 2030, and that is awesome because they have unmatched selection, direct and transparent pricing, exceptional value with a personal touch, and lifetime services always free. From cleanings and polishing to ring sizing and routine repairs, Diamonds Direct provides complimentary care for the lifetime of your jewelry with no strings attached. They treat you like a VIP the minute you walk in the door. And at Diamonds Direct, you can say hello to great people there that are ready to help you. My friends Angie, the GM, David, the store manager, and my man Tom, ready to help you make that purchase that you are going to love and that someone special is going to love. Diamonds Direct, located off 119th and Row in Leawood. And when you stop by Diamonds Direct, tell them SSJ sent you. Welcome back. To New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. You know, it's funny. I just mentioned this to Stan, Jake.
What's that?
If you're a New England fan, you're thinking, wow, could have had a nice combo there of Mac Jones throwing to Tyquan Thornton. Turns out that
Right.
they're pretty okay football players.
Huh.
And maybe it wasn't all them. Right?
Well, I think it was not them. I mean, they're proving that.
Those were 2 high draft picks, a first-round pick and a second-round pick
Yes.
that just totally washed out in New England. And then you go, and again, I get it, Shanahan, the Niners, the system, and everything else. But Mac Jones looks like he can play some football, and he was getting hit, and he was you talk about quitting and giving in. That guy wasn't giving in for nothing. You were going to have to drag him off the field, and they almost did a couple of times. And that dude,
he was getting hit.
and it's not like, well, look who he was throwing to. It's more like, look who he was throwing to.
What was that guy's name again?
Right, exactly. I mean, he had.
And he had pressure. He was getting hit right as he's throwing dimes.
This man, look, it's one thing if you're Mahomes. This guy had MVS and Sky Moore out there and Demarcus Robinson, Kendrick Bourne also, but still, it's like tight end Jake Tungus.
Was Bill Belichick's girlfriend involved a little earlier than we thought?
Maybe. Perhaps.
And distracting him in New England?
And Tyquan Thornton,
he's smooth. He's good. He looks like a good NFL receiver.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Not just with his production. Like if I just went out and watched him catch some passes from somebody, I'd go, oh, that looks like an NFL receiver right there.
Really nice.
He's not overachieving. Sky Moore looks like an overachiever.
Yes.
Everything he did well, you're like, I'm surprised. When Thornton does something, I go, looks very, very normal for this guy.
And he looks
body
the
type,
part,
smoothness,
6'2", and he's fast. Like, okay.
And how he catches the ball, everything. He looks like he would be a super early draft pick. When you go down to Chiefs draft picks and go down, who again did they draft last year? You wouldn't be surprised to say, oh, yeah, we got Thornton in the second round. What a great ad.
He already has more touchdowns this year than he had in 3 years in New England.
Wow. Now, the system that he's thrown into is pretty good, too. But
right.
He deserved everything he's gotten. It's not been a give-me fest.
It was so funny. I mentioned this on
Brett Veach has done an amazing job of bringing guys in.
I mentioned this on Monday. We go into the locker room, and there was hardly any delay. This was a happy locker room after that Ravens game. And we're, going around from locker to locker, talking to different players. And for people that don't know, you get in there in a scrum with about 10 or 15 other people, and you're waiting for the player to get dressed. And you got to kind of divide and conquer. Like I'm in there, Lebo's going back and forth between there and the interview room. We've got Paige in there. We've got Bethany in there. And I'll say, okay, hey, you go grab Trent McDuffie. I'm going to stand here and wait for, Hollywood Brown to get
Meaning you're going to go interview him when you say go grab him.
That's exactly right. And so I'm standing there. You know what? I wouldn't mind grabbing Trent McDuffie and say, hey, I like the way you play football. And so I'm standing there, and so a lot of the players have left, and there's only maybe 2 or 3 more players that you could possibly interview because they're taking a long time to get ready. And so everyone is waiting for just a couple of players to get that one last soundbite or one last interview. And one of them is Tyquan Thornton. And then, like, Juju Smith-Schuster is over there as well. But everyone was waiting to talk to Tyquan Thornton. And he's getting dressed, and he's talking to one of the members of the staff over here. And he gets his shoes on, and then he grabs his bag, and then he turns to try to leave, and the member of the PR staff stops him. He goes, "Oh no, they're." He goes, he looked.
He's not. He didn't think anybody was ready to talk to him.
He was bewildered. He goes,
"That's funny."
He goes, "Oh, they're waiting for me," and they, "Oh yeah, they're waiting to talk to you." And he looks. He goes, "Oh, you guys want to talk to me?" And he was shy. He goes, okay. And he put his bag down, and everyone gathered around him. He thought we were all waiting for somebody else, but that just goes.
When he left and saw his family, he was like, I cost those guys 5 or 10 minutes. I didn't know they were waiting for me. I didn't care.
No, he had no idea, but
That's
we were
great.
all waiting for
the
him.
The innocence of an NFL player does not happen very often.
Right, because guess what? They weren't waiting to talk to him after New England games, And so I thought, but it also talking to him and we talk about how the locker room can change every year, chemistry and everything else, and you add guys that are hungry, that haven't won. You could tell he appreciates this so much, being around Andy Reid, being around Patrick Mahomes. Like, why wouldn't you? But he's just like, yeah, I really appreciate being here and everything else. He's talking about, what it meant to have Xavier Worthy back on the field. It was refreshing.
Now, where was Travis Kelce in this sequencing?
He was.
When did you interview him?
I did not.
Did Todd interview Travis Kelce?
No. Nope. No. But Kelce had a good game. So if he doesn't want to talk after bad games,
so is he rolling out of there, or does he just put the hand up and say, guys, respect my time?
I saw him go into the shower, but he did not come out. So a lengthy shower. And guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. To wash the filth of, the field off you. Whatever.
It's a grass surface.
That's right. We'll take a break. We've got Stan Weber in studio back after this on WHB. All right, NFL fans, what's your favorite touchdown? For me, it's the next one. Because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From first touchdown score to anytime TD props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. And how about last night? There was some opportunity there. Could you believe it? The Niners were 8.5-point dogs, and they won outright. I don't know what you did, but that was crazy. But how about this? This is the best part. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. That's code 810WHB to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Kansas only. Eligibility restrictions apply. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, bet must win to receive reward. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
I'm retired, newly retired, so this was my first summer not working again. But I had
New Day with SSJ is presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated. HLAC certified to the highest medical laundry standards. Walker has partnerships with hospitals, surgery centers, and medical clinics in and around the metro area. Walker Medical Linen Services in Kansas City and online at walkermls.com.
Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it. Got a fun weekend planned, as I will be the MC of the Walk to Defeat ALS, which will be taking place tomorrow morning at the Asperia campus. And check-in is at 9 a.m. and the walk begins at 10:30 a.m. And so if you are going to be out there, please, if you get a chance, say hello. And I'll be there as the MC in memory of my uncle Richie Ontiveros, who was a Kansas City, Kansas police officer and who battled ALS for nearly 8 years before he passed away. And it's a very special event to me, and I'm looking forward to seeing many people that I see every year out there as we join in together in the fight against ALS. You can also check out my social media platforms on Facebook or X or Instagram, and I've provided a link where you can click if you would like to donate to my walk team or donate to the cause in the Walk to Defeat ALS. And tomorrow night, I'll be the MC of the St. Pius X Gala for the school that I attended and my kids attend. And tonight, oh boy, I think I'm going to the St. Pius St. James football game, and then as a surprise for my daughter Selena, I purchased tickets to go see the Taylor Swift release event at the movie theater. They're going to have the videos and all this stuff. So she's fired up.
It's a late night.
Yeah. Well, I had to make sure to get the football because you know.
You only mentioned one of your daughters,
game.
though.
Oh, one.
Yeah,
no interest.
Julia.
Okay, I just was thinking, why did you mention?
Two different musical tastes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I brought that. I go, hey, I have 4 tickets. Would you like to go? And she just stared at me, and didn't say anything. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm going to take that as a no. And she goes, you're right. And she said, what is it again? I said, Taylor Swift. And she goes, no, it's okay.
Wow. No. As long as she feels that way on Sunday when you get back and say, hey, we did this last night.
Well, it's
will
tonight,
she feel it like she's tonight?
Oh,
so
no.
she'll feel like she missed out a little bit?
Oh
or?
no, she'll be thrilled that everyone's gone, and so she'll spend time with the dogs, and I'm sure on the phone with her boyfriend, or watching movies. She likes her time alone, but she's just, you know what? I try to split things up, and there's things that she likes that Selena wants nothing to do with. And so it's fun.
Well, it's nice that they have those. You have those individual moments because that's one of the hardest things with twins.
Oh yeah,
is not to always have them together.
Yeah, like we're finishing up tennis season, and then they'll have some time off, and then Julia takes over with track and field and long jump season, and so we'll be ready to roll. But all right, so and again, if you see me out at the Walk to Defeat ALS, please yell at me or take a chance. I'd love to see you and say hello and thank you for coming out. And we appreciate your support. All right, let's play a clip from Xavier Worthy because, man, oh, man, did he make an impact. It's not just him, but it was a lot him to have his speed back on the field and talking to different people after the game as they expressed how happy they were to have Worthy back on the field and what an impact he made just to have that threat. And I'll be honest with you, I was cautiously optimistic. We knew he was coming back, but would he be able to do everything? Would he look like the Xavier Worthy that we saw turn into a hell of a football player down the stretch last year? And he looked the part. Here is Xavier Worthy on the Rich Eisen show on going up against Jacksonville and perhaps Travis Hunter.
Travis is a really good player. I mean, I watched Travis in college. He probably has one of the best ball skills I've ever seen. So he's a really good player.
So what are the challenges that the Jaguars present? They take the ball away quite a bit, and they've done that to every team that they faced multiple times this year.
Right. I feel like they're just a good unit all around together. They play together. They play sound, and tips and overthrows, they make sure they catch them. So you just got to be technically sound playing against them.
All right, here he was asked if the Chiefs' offense, after the performance in the second half against the Giants and that performance against the Ravens last week, has the Chiefs' offense turned a corner?
I feel like we just getting started.
So there's no corner turned. You're just beginning to get started. That's the way you're terming it. Started for where? What are we starting?
I feel like there was no corner that needed to be turned. I feel like it's just like we just needed to settle down and just get it going. Okay. It was never like what needed to be fixed. It was just always just self-errors.
And finally, he was asked how Travis Kelce has helped his progress.
Trav is a great guy for that. I mean, he's probably the best tight end in space in NFL history. So, I mean, I have the key to the system right there.
He's the king of footwork and noticing space and obviously being on the same page as Mahomes. Can you walk me through what those conversations sound like?
I mean, you could probably see it throughout the end of my year last year, just understanding what Pat likes to do. Me and Trav, we'll run a play, and he would just give me like a little tip, just like, hey, on this, you could use this release and do this, and Pat will see it like this. So I just kind of like took that in my mental, and just everything he said towards the end of my rookie year, I just took it into this year and worked on it in the offseason.
And here's one more on Worthy. This is Patrick Mahomes when he was asked yesterday what Worthy brings to the offense.
I mean, obviously, just you never know coming off injury, but that's what I expected from the beginning of the season. I think the best way to put it is he's a guy that can win one-on-one against really everybody in the league. And so when you have that much explosiveness and you can run routes like he does, it brings a lot of attention to him. And so you saw that they were having to make decisions if they were going to play man coverage or if they were going to play zone coverage, and then it helped get other guys open as well. And so as well as just bringing energy. I mean, he has a lot of energy on the football field. He's got celebration, seems like every single week. And so I think that's contagious, and it brought energy to the entire sideline and the entire team, and it was a great thing to get him out there.
All right, Stan, you heard Xavier Worthy talking. You heard Mahomes talking about Worthy. Tell me what you thought of his return to the football field and the impact he made on the Chiefs' offense.
The biggest thing is that he was not tentative. Being a lightweight guy like he is and getting injured, that shoulder is going to linger. It's not going to feel normal for a while, but just knowing how dangerous it is out there and how quickly you can be blown up is something that you hope a 175-pound guy doesn't realize. Like, they're in danger all the time, but they need to play and concentrate and think about speed and excellence and catching the ball and running the routes, and then all of a sudden you run into Travis Kelce and you realize, oh, it's dangerous out here. Ouch. So most players have a rustiness when they come back. They're not quite in rhythm, and then a little tentativeness, not because they're scared, but their body is screaming subconsciously, be careful with that shoulder right now. Give me a couple more weeks and I'll be thinking normal. But he didn't look like that at all. He went out and played like he was in a giant rhythm, never ever bruised or hurt. I thought that was very impressive. Obviously, he's grown up listening to his comments. He understands that he is learning from the greatest in the world, that he's taking that raw capability that he brought from Texas, speed, and not just a boring, hey, hand me the ball in a jet sweep, throw the ball down the line and let me run, or let me run a deep ball. He actually ran a full receiver tree of patterns. He's a legitimate receiver. He was at Texas. He'd run a deep curl. He'd run digs. So he is a legitimate receiver who's fast, and then yet he's talking about how I got to work in coordination with Travis Kelce. Patrick Mahomes is telling me where I need to be. He's growing up. In his second year, he's taken a giant step, and he was good last year. Most rookies aren't as effective as he was last year, and he has stepped it up to another level, and it really showed out. Coming off an injury and being a giant factor like he was last week, I was very impressed.
And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's hard not to imagine, because where's some wood to knock on, because we haven't seen it yet. But it gets me excited. We were talking about this in the press box after we saw Worthy. Okay, Worthy looks good. He looks all right. I know they got to get through the Jags and they got to get through the Lions. But, man, if they can be healthy together, what could this offense be once Rashee Rice comes back? And then you got Worthy, and then you got Hollywood Brown, and then you got Tyquan Thornton, the way he's developed, and then you got Kelsey.
You just mentioned 4 legitimate guys before you get to Kelsey.
And Kelsey not playing as many snaps, and they utilized him,
they did that
perfectly.
2/3 of the snaps rather than 75-80% of them.
Right, and then by that time, the evolution of Brashard Smith in the offense
I
continues.
think that's going to be a juice filler as well.
Let's
I mean,
go.
the running backs scare nobody. I've talked about that for how many weeks now? All summer into the season, and then and it all changes when he gets the ball because he's burning off green grass so quickly they didn't have to break a tackle. They didn't have to have a great block. It's he just gained 5 yards, and for the Chiefs, man, that's big. And then his ability to catch the ball, he's really a receiver, right? You could call him a receiver just as much as you call him a running back if you go back to his college career. He was a receiver more years than he was a running back.
Running back 1 year.
So, hey, is there anybody who can utilize one of the eligible players to catch the ball better than Andy Reid? You go back and look at Andy Reid's history all the way back to the Eagles. His running backs killed people catching the ball. He puts them in great space. The Chiefs have great screen games. Can you imagine him now if he catches the ball on a screen and just gets a block and gets going? And he has that youthful enthusiasm. This is awesome.
It's very exciting. And also, I'll add to that, too, that now, after 4 weeks, I feel a lot more comfortable saying that left side of the offensive line is improving and getting better, and to think what it could be by the end of the season. Suamataia has been better than I thought. And Josh Simmons, he has his rough spots, but there has never been 1 second where you thought, they got to get him off the field. Or they got to do something with him. No. And so just think.
Or he's actually holding more. I've seen some rookie linemen hold more than they should, and they don't call it that much in the NFL. And you're kind of lucky, that could have been called to hold. Because it could be called, holding could be called on every play.
Sure.
But he hasn't been doing that. He hasn't been taking shortcuts. Jawan Taylor's always taken all kinds of shortcuts, but that has not got into Simmons' brain. He is playing solidly, and I am not a big believer that rookies are going to have a great season over their left tackle or in the offensive line, but he's doing fine. Patrick settled down. Now, I thought the Chiefs vaulted themselves into why aren't they considered the favorite to win the Super Bowl? Why aren't they? Who would you substitute in, or are you scared of? This is parity football like I've never seen. There are no good teams out there. Nobody's any good. And the Chiefs know how to win. They have Patrick Mahomes, and they look good against the Ravens. Why aren't the Chiefs, in your mind, right there again like they've been the last 5 years? Why aren't they ready to roll and be a Super Bowl champion?
Here goes Steven, the arrogant Chiefs fan, again. It's just Buffalo in the AFC. It's the Chiefs and Buffalo.
And Buffalo's not very good.
But who else is in that group? It's the Chiefs and Buffalo. It's Patrick Mahomes.
You can make
and
this
Josh
case
Allen.
of, Denver and Chargers, they're division foes. But,
no.
No.
I'm talking about Super Bowl contenders.
I don't think Pittsburgh's going to be there yet. Aaron Rodgers, if he played his greatest game, and the Steelers play their greatest game with Watt, they could be dangerous. But these Pittsburgh, Denver, Chargers hope to play well. It's not in their DNA. It's not their every down. It's up to Josh. Josh has puts his Superman cape on and grabs his coaching staff and shoves them on one shoulder and the defense on the other.
He's great.
And says,
he's great.
And the running back, those two guys are Cook and Josh Allen are so elite right now. It's unbelievable. And the Bills naively kind of think they're good, but they're not that great. Just go watch the Saints game. Just please go watch the Saints game. I know it's the NFL, but they should have lost to Baltimore. I mean, Buffalo is not playing great football. So the Chiefs, even though they've had some struggles and a bad start here with a tough schedule and all of that, after I watch the games through Monday, I go, who's better than the Chiefs?
Right now on DraftKings for the AFC number 1 seed, the odds look like the Bills are minus 200, followed by who do you think?
Is it the AFC or the NFL?
It's just the AFC number 1 seed.
It should be the Chiefs.
The second favorite would be the Chargers at plus 550.
No.
Followed by
No way.
Not after they lost to the
the
Giants.
Chiefs at 950. Colts at 1,500, Steelers at 2,200, Jaguars 2,200, Broncos 3,000, Patriots 5,000, and then the Baltimore Ravens at plus 6,000.
Well, the thing that you have to factor in is that in the AFC East, the schedule is so much easier. So if you're going to go to Vegas and bet, you got to count. Buffalo's got an early start on the Chiefs, right? And they play the Chiefs well in regular season if they have that head-to-head battle. Okay, but they also just have a much easier schedule. So I'll give you that. But I'm talking about who's going to play the best when these playoffs come together. And Buffalo obviously matches up well with the Chiefs, and it's super feature awesome football. But I'm telling you, Buffalo is not that scary. They're not that good. And the coach is only a good guy, not a dominant figure. Their offensive and defensive coordinators aren't in the same league as the Chiefs. Their defense is not good. It's not physical. They get injured all the time. No. They like playing at home. Yeah, Chiefs and Buffalo in the AFC Championship game is likely a game we're going to see. And, yes, you'll be sitting on the edge of your seat because you want to go to the Super Bowl. And Josh is going to play out of his mind, and it's going to be scary. But I still think the Chiefs are more likely to win that game than Buffalo, no matter where it's played. You got to look at I talk about this on College Football Game Day. Danny and I will be on the show tomorrow at 9 o'clock if you want to listen on Sports Radio 810 WHB, but I talk about the danger factor. Like, what happens if that team plays their best? Are they a team that could scare you? Okay? Guys like Joe Burrow, Stephen, bring the danger factor. No matter who's on the team with him, if he's got his receivers and he's available playing, you better worry because they may play great that day. But the Bengals are in the rearview mirror. The Ravens might have just jumped on with the Bengals. The Ravens are always nerve-wracking. What happens if they actually played well in that playoff game and Lamar didn't freak out? But look, the Chiefs broke them. The Chiefs just shoved them down. Where were they in that betting odds deal? 8th or something? In the AFC, not the NFL.
Yeah, just AFC. They're plus 6,000 behind the Bills, the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Colts, the Steelers, and the Jags.
I mean, the
Broncos.
The Ravens should bounce back because their division is not as good as we thought it was going to be. Because you thought Cleveland was improved and physical, right? Cincinnati had Joe Burrow and was going to bounce back and start the year off in a good fashion, right? Not start 0-2. And then Pittsburgh is going to have a winning record every year. And you got to believe in the things that they do with Mike Tomlin. And now Aaron Rodgers, maybe it's going to be a match made in heaven. But none of these teams are that good. So the Ravens might bounce back. But there's also a chance the Chiefs just broke them. That's what when the game ended, I had questions about Harbaugh, their play calling, their toughness. I've always had questions about Lamar, always. But the whole team had no winning DNA in them. They got the crap beat out of them, and they quit.
Otherwise, I don't fear Lamar in the playoffs.
You shouldn't.
I fear Josh Allen because he's great.
You should.
And in a one-game scenario, because he's a Hall of Fame quarterback with a great coach and a stud like DK Metcalf, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers could upset the Bills. They could win. I don't know if they're enough to win a couple of games and go to the Super Bowl, but I would fear them, honestly, probably more than the Chargers or the Broncos or any of these none of these AFC South teams. Just because, Hall of Fame quarterback,
You're
Hall of Fame coach.
You're not scared about Indianapolis or any of those teams.
You got a Hall of Fame quarterback and you got a Hall of Fame coach. And I like DK Metcalf.
The Chiefs are the best in the AFC. Buffalo's the next. And like you said, likely at the end of the year to be a dangerous team for the Chiefs to play, it would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think their defense is not nearly as good as it should be and all those things. But if Aaron Rodgers played really well, DK Metcalf, Tomlin, you could see the Steelers being feisty. And then you have to respect the Chargers and the Broncos for only this reason, Stephen, division foes. Division foes are less intimidated by playing someone. So if the Chargers could magically or the Broncos magically play in Arrowhead for an AFC championship, I would be thinking the Chiefs are going to win as well. But you'd have to have some pause that these two teams have a methodology, a way of thinking about beating the Chiefs, because that's what they study all the time in the offseason. But right now, we went from the Chiefs being nervous about being 1-3. Last Friday when I sat here, I was thinking I might pick the Ravens in the game. That's how much it was interesting to me. And boy, is that completely wrong. When I went to bed on Sunday night, I'm like, the Chiefs are back. They're as good as anybody in the AFC. And now you might talk about some teams you believe in the NFC for who they might play in the Super Bowl. But bye-bye Ravens, hello Chiefs. We are back to the last 5 years. Erase the trip to Berlin. It's gone. The Chiefs are ready to roll.
We'll take a break. Back after this on WHB. Stephen St. John here for Window Nation. And if you have been thinking about getting new windows from Window Nation, then you need to check out Window Nation this October right now, because they have a great opportunity for you. When you buy 2 replacement windows, you'll get 2 for free. Plus, pay nothing for 2 whole years. But the sale will end on October 31st. Schedule your free estimate now at windownation.com. If you've got old, stuck, or cracked windows, that means you're going to be back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home sooner than later, and you don't want that. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation. Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started, and tell them SSJ sent you. Welcome back to the show. That was like a Niners home game last night, by the way, too. At the Rams. All right, before I get your thoughts on a couple of college football matchups,
my main thought is I said Brazil to end the last segment,
Right.
and then the mic got cut off, so I didn't get a chance to say Brazil.
Right.
Berlin, I said instead of Brazil. I apologize.
Apologize.
I'm not blaming
to the
Jake at
people of
all.
Brazil.
He said your
Jake.
time's up, and get it right the first time. This is a get it right business, right,
I know.
Jake?
Hey, if anyone listens to this show, they know this. When Jake says break, I break immediately.
Right, yes.
You know, very like a unicorn running through a rainbow. That's the only time that I go long in a segment. Very
hard
rarely. Let's get your thoughts, since we won't talk to you before then. Monday Night Football, what kind of challenge this will be for the Chiefs to go on the road in Jacksonville. Sounds like there's going to be rain throughout the day. Don't know if it'll rain during the game. Maybe Jeff Penner will have a Jacksonville forecast for us. But a team that has some confidence, they're 3-1. What about that matchup?
Well, in the NFL, I don't think that players get very excited. They pretty much grind through and are pros every week, and they know the game's going to be close. Even if you're the Chiefs and you go to the Super Bowl every year, why don't you think each game's going to be close in the fourth quarter? That's the way the NFL is played. Oh, you're a big favorite. Jake, is that like 6.5 points or something in the NFL? So, these guys
last night 8.5.
Yeah,
crazy.
So
these Chiefs are 3.5-point favorite right now.
So these guys know how to grind. Okay, my point is that you get into a rhythm and you show up and you play hard, but there's sometimes it could get a little excitement like a college football team might have in a rivalry. And I think that's what Jacksonville's going to bring. Now, how do they play with that emotion? It may create some problems, some negativity, but I think you're going to get a spirited reaction from Jacksonville and their fans. Steven, I remember back when the Chiefs were not on Monday Night Football ever, and they played that game against the Buffalo Bills.
I was there. It was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
I was up in the upper level.
So was I. Was I sitting next to you?
Maybe. I came down with
upper deck, 25-yard line
of my dorm mates from Missouri Western State
Jake
University.
probably wasn't alive at that time, but
I remember. Was it 91 or 92?
The Buffalo Bills were in that stretch of going to 4 straight Super Bowls. They were playing a no-huddle offense, and the crowd just roared and wouldn't let them communicate. But the Chiefs played out of their minds.
I think they were 5-0, and the Chiefs were 3-2. I think.
But the Chiefs played out of their minds to match these mighty Buffalo Bills, right? Now, I don't think we see that in the NFL at all today, and a lot of fans from other teams come and fill these stadiums up, and the home teams don't have that great a record since COVID over visitors. But I think Jacksonville's going to play with a lot of emotion, and they're going to bring it with a style that is going to make them feisty. But why are they having success? Well, they're running the ball well and stopping the run well. Travis Etienne is a factor. Remember, he had that injury. We thought, well, he's not the same guy he was coming out of Clemson. Well, now he's a big factor. They've been a little explosive on special teams. But the thing that they've done more than anything else is they get the best turnover ratio in the National Football League at +9. And they've turned people over. 3 turnovers every game, I believe, for them. I don't think the Chiefs are going to have to worry about that. It's not about Jacksonville. When it comes to turnovers, the Chiefs control it. The offense controls it. So I don't think you're going to get the turnovers that Jacksonville's gotten in the last couple of games. I'm impressed that they went to San Francisco and won. Aren't you a little more impressed with that victory now that you saw San Francisco play last night? So, yeah, Jacksonville's going to be feisty. Trevor Lawrence has got to play great. Trevor Lawrence is going to have to play great. He's not bad. He's not dominant, but he has the potential to be a really good quarterback for one day. So I expect it to be a feisty, close game, but I think it's a classic. We build this game up because it's Monday night and Jacksonville has a winning record and we want to make it a big deal. But you're talking about a heavyweight boxing champion against a lightweight champion, okay? And you know you're a boxing guy. They both could be really, really good, but the big boy's going to beat them up, right? And the Chiefs are just too good for Jacksonville.
I'll always love this intro right
What years was that the theme?
Building my youth.
Dun, 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 dun.
Right. I'm about to drive around listening to this.
I did it correctly.
Right. So what's the score going to be?
I would say 27-17 Chiefs.
I'll take that. All right, let me ask you about a couple of matchups in college football. Kansas State beats UCF. And so let's hit that real quick since you just saw UCF. Now Kansas losing a heartbreaker at home to Cincy. They have to turn around and go on the road and go to UCF, a team that you just saw. And so what kind of challenge will that be for Kansas against UCF?
It'll be harder because they're going to play at UCF. What is the humidity like? And the weather, both heat and the moisture from the humidity, just making a difference on the ball. You can't turn the ball over. I mean, think about Kansas, all the things that they did, but really the difference is a fumble close to the goal line when they're about ready to go in the fourth quarter. So you just can't lose the ball and fumble. The biggest question for UCF is going to be who plays quarterback. Taven Jackson, when he was in there, gave UCF the best chance against K-State. He's a dual-threat quarterback. He played at Tennessee. He learned at Indiana the last couple years. You know, he's been well coached there. He wasn't the starter to start the year. Cam Fancher was. He's a left-hander, a passing quarterback. He got crunched and has not played since then, but I think he's available. Taven Jackson got crunched by K-State, and he sat out a whole quarter, shoulder pads off and everything. And in the second half, he came back and played, and he did it with a really nice job. But he was limping around and not feeling well. Will he be able to play? That'll be a big factor because Jakari Brown is a quarterback that's athletic, comes from an NFL family, but he's more of the Wildcat quarterback. When he came in against K-State, they were really hamstrung because he could run the ball, but when you know he's in, you can stop him from running, and he's not a good enough passer. So I think that's the number one thing. If number 2, Taven Jackson, plays, then this game should be very, very close. UCF's not a dominant team. I would say Kansas is the better team, but going on the road and dealing with the loss they have creates a lot of tension. I mean, tomorrow's game is giant for KU's season. I mean giant. Because if you have Cincinnati beat you when you had every chance to win, and then you go to lose to UCF, now you've lost 2 in a row. In this conference, it doesn't let up. It's like the NFL. Every team can beat you. Momentum is a big, big factor. Belief. If Kansas bounces back, beats UCF, then you say, yeah, we should have beat Cincinnati. I'm sorry we didn't, but we're back. We're on our feet. Let's get going again. But if Kansas loses 2 games in a row, then suddenly you remember they lost to Missouri as well. And you go, wait. Our record's not flawless. We're not.
At Texas Tech right after that.
Yeah. So I think Kansas is the better team, but this is such a high-risk game for Kansas, in my opinion. This season could turn tremendously from the awesome, positive feelings that we were talking about last Friday, because there's a lot of good things to talk about when they played against Missouri. The yardage difference was big, but I thought they had a chance to win the Missouri game even though the yards weren't in their direction. And the quarterback didn't play great. Well, guess what? Jalen Daniels played great. Other than that fumble, wow. You know, he played great in the Cincinnati game. So those are so hard to deal with when you're a football team, Steven, when you can watch the tape and see so many great things you did, but they told you lost. It's hard to deal with. You can't let it turn into 2 losses. UCF's dangerous, but I think Kansas is better.
All right, what about Kansas State? After their victory over UCF, they go on the road to take on Baylor, and clearly you could see what a difference Dylan Edwards made, and Avery Johnson was running the football. He was a threat with his legs.
Yeah, I had Avery Johnson as a player of the game, even though Dylan Edwards had a 75-yard touchdown run, 166 yards. It looks like he would be the guy, but I thought it was Avery Johnson running the football with purpose, with about 70 yards of rushing himself. Third play of the game, K-State was playing against UCF, and it looked too much like the Arizona game, okay? First play of the game, give it to Dylan Edwards, and I mean, they're like 4 guys crushing him in the backfield. They were so much focused on him. Next play, Avery gets scrambled. He has to roll out away from the line of scrimmage and throw the ball away. It is 3rd and 11. And remember against Arizona, K-State had no offense. It is 3rd and 11, and all that reset discussion was at risk, in peril. And guess what happened on the next play? Avery Johnson ran for 25 yards right up the middle, and he was decisive. And you go, okay, that is a winning run. And he did it all game long, passed the ball well. He's a passing quarterback who has the ability to run, but when he runs with purpose and the yards matter, and that at the right time, K-State's a different team. Now, K-State's not had their big 3 together yet all year. Avery Johnson, Dylan Edwards, Jace Brown. Jace Brown started and played like 3 plays, Stephen. So is he going to be healthy this week? Are we going to see all 3 of those guys on offense for K-State? Will that make a difference? Yes, it'll make a difference, but how good is K-State? This is an old-school Big 12 game. Remember when Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield and those guys are playing, and you used to joke about, well, Big 12, you better score 35 points. You're going to win this game. That's the kind of game this is. K-State's offense is going to have to play great and score because Baylor's offense, Sawyer Robertson, is thrown for more yards than anybody in college football. He's thrown for more touchdowns than anybody in college football, and yet they run the ball more than 50% of the time. So they throw the ball down the line, they throw the ball deep, and they run. They stretch you in every way, and they score. They get over 500 yards like it's no big deal. So Baylor's likely to score. Defense is their weakness. K-State has to outscore them. So it's going to be an old-school Big 12 game. It isn't going to be – games have turned into – defense have caught up with offense. We see a lot of 27-24 games in college football and in the Big 12. This one, K-State's offense better score. That's how you're going to beat Baylor by outscoring them.
K-State Baylor 11 a.m. kickoff. Kansas UCF 6:30 kickoff. And also I think a couple interesting games. I mean, it's too early to really say favorites, but I think most people say Iowa State at 5-0, 2-0, and then Texas Tech at 4-0, 1-0 might be the 2 early favorites in the Big 12. Iowa State's got to go to Cincinnati, and Texas Tech's got to go to Houston, and they're undefeated, although somewhat untested. They did beat Colorado by a couple of touchdowns. Those could be tricky games for either of those teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Houston's will not go away. You know, like they should have lost their last game at Oregon State, but then they came back and won the ball game. So, you know, I think Texas Tech will be okay, even though it's tough playing Houston. The Cincinnati game at home is going to be very interesting because the confidence that they got by beating Kansas.
That Cincy quarterback can sling it.
And Iowa State wants to battle you and beat you in the fourth quarter. Rocco Becht will do it. They want to beat you 27-24, and they're very comfortable, and they're good at it. But Cincinnati, you saw what they could do. 600 yards. I mean, even against Iowa State's defense, Cincinnati could get it done. And unbelievably, I thought about Jake when I saw this. I'm pretty sure Cincinnati's favorite in the betting line. That shows you how much respect there is for how tough a game this is.
Cincy's favored by 1.5.
Wow.
And no respect given to Houston because Texas Tech, 11.5-point road favorites. And maybe that turns out to be true. I don't know, but we'll see.
I think Texas Tech's going to be okay. They went and proved a lot when they went to Utah and controlled the game at altitude and played great defense. And Houston's just not explosive. I mean, Houston's going to score your 20 points and hope they win, maybe get to 27. You know, it's so hard for Houston. Willie Fritz is doing a great job winning games. But I think Texas Tech. Cincinnati against Iowa State is the game, the kind of the hidden game that the nation's not going to talk about.
Who wins?
But we ought to talk about.
Well, who wins?
I'm going to say Iowa State, man. They are gutsy.
Jake just nodded his approval. I don't know if that makes you feel better or worse.
I'm playing that game, buddy.
What are you doing?
Money lines, Iowa State.
He had. I'm not gonna say. I'm
not
gonna pile on.
Does he win his bet?
You know who he had money line last night? Rams.
Stafford.
I fixed some stuff though. Right before the game started, I took 49ers plus 8.5.
There he is. There you
go.
And
I took Puka anytime touchdown, McCaffrey anytime touchdown, Kyron Williams anytime touchdown.
He's back. This guy is back.
D-Rob over 2.5 receptions and D-Rob over 20.
You got Rocco Becht anytime touchdown because he throws a touchdown pass every game.
That's what we needed. Now we need an overconfident Jake to get into this college football Saturday and really take the world by storm.
So we've talked about 3 really interesting Big 12 games without even going further. And I know Missouri fans, gear up and get ready because Alabama over Georgia was impressive, but Vanderbilt against Alabama is going to be very interesting.
Opponents 2 of the next 3 weeks from Missouri.
And you know what's so crazy is the quarterback came from New Mexico State, right? The reason why he went to Vanderbilt is because of Jerry Kill. Jerry Kill, the coach was at Minnesota, then an interim coach at TCU. I played Little League Baseball against Jerry Kill. I broadcast his games when he was in Emporia State before he went. Jerry Kill loves football so much, and he's such a good football coach. Because of his health issues, he tries not to accept head coaching jobs. He did for New Mexico State, but I'm not sure what his condition is, but stress is not good for his body, so he's got to be careful. He's the dude who's running the offense at Vanderbilt. He's a little bit behind the scenes. You got to know when they come off the sideline, he's the one yelling and cussing at him and stuff, the little guy with white beard. That's Jerry Kill. I know him so well. It's just so impressive what he's doing at Vanderbilt.
It's going to be a hell of a game against Alabama. We'll take a break. Back after this on WHB. Stephen St. John here for Diamonds Direct. You've heard me talking about Diamonds Direct. I've gone to Diamonds Direct several times to buy something for my wife, something for my daughters. I've bought, I bought something for me there one time. Don't I deserve it? Diamonds Direct, you deserve it. Go to Diamonds Direct, and they will treat you like the VIP you really are. And you can get no interest until 2030. How about that? And Diamonds Direct, they're awesome because they have a tremendous selection, everything from $500 gifts to once-in-a-lifetime purchases, and something really cool as well, they have lifetime services always free. From cleanings and polishing to ring sizing and routine repairs, Diamonds Direct provides complimentary care for the lifetime of your jewelry. No strings attached. So go see my friends Angie, the GM, David, the store manager, and my man Tom, who loves Nebraska football. And they will treat you like a VIP at Diamonds Direct, located off 119th and Row. And when you stop by Diamonds Direct, tell them SSJ sent you. Welcome back to the show. A lot of stuff going on around town. The Chapel Roan outdoor concert. Jeff, I'm going to be the MC of the Walk to Defeat ALS tomorrow morning on the Hesperia campus. We've got plenty of things for people to do outdoors. But then also we need a Jacksonville forecast for Monday night because I've heard there's rain in the forecast. Please tell us everything that we need to know, including high school football tonight. Give us the weekend forecast, Jeff, please.
I will. Good morning, guys. Yeah, that's quite an assignment. Yes, I will go through it here in order. First, in Kansas City, Summer is not giving up. It will not let go. Today's going to be near 90. And over the weekend, it's going to be in the mid to upper 80s, more like mid 80s, and there's no chance of rain for any activities. Now, the good news is for the ALS walk, it's in the morning.
Thank you.
So right now, it's in the 60s. You have these cool to mild mornings and then this hot afternoon, and that'll be the case again tomorrow. So probably in the 60s early in the morning, probably wouldn't get into the 80s until about 11 a.m. or so, 10 or 11 a.m. So the morning will start pretty nice. Almost no. Well, there'll be a little bit of a breeze over the weekend, but overall it will be dry. Then I'll kind of go in order here. We got K-State down in Baylor, right? And that's in down there.
Wacky Waco.
Hot. It's going to be hot in Wacky Waco there. It's going to be around 90 and a little breezy, so very similar there as it is here. You get the Jayhawks tomorrow evening in UCF. I believe that's east of Orlando, Florida, somewhere in there. There's a chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms there all day long into the evening. However, during the game, the chance of rain will drop, and temperatures there will be in the 70s. We have Jacksonville, Florida, Monday Night Football. It is going to rain a lot during the day. During the game, it should decrease, but can't rule out some showers and thunderstorms moving by in that area with temperatures in the 70s. So, yeah, it's going to be very wet down there before the game, and then during the game, it will certainly decrease, but can't say it's not going to rain during the game. So there'll be some scattered showers and thunderstorms there as well. Temperatures will be in the 70s there. So, yeah, very interesting. And for us, it's like, when is it going to, it's October. It doesn't need to keep being in the 80s and 90, so near 90. Our cold front does arrive here on Monday, and we should get some rain maybe Monday into Tuesday. We could use the rain as well. I wouldn't count on a lot of rain early next week, but there could be some. And at least temperatures next week will be in the 70s for highs here, maybe a day in the 60s as well. It's going to start to finally feel like it should this time of year. Have I left any questions?
I don't understand. You got a question for him? He did great. You nailed it, Jeff.
No. Appreciate it. Thank you.
He's the best.
Nope, I have no questions. Thanks, Jeff. And I'll tell you what, just keep this weather coming.
It's going to be
beautiful, warm days. Let's just keep it rolling. I don't want cold weather.
All I'm asking for is the 60s and 70s. That's
just
all.
Some mild weather.
Something mild.
That trends too quickly into cold weather.
I'm too fat for this, Stan.
Right now,
you can get up in the morning. It's cool in the morning. It can be cool at night. That's good enough, man.
I like it. I like it in the morning.
High school football with nice weather at night?
Yes.
I mean, you don't want cold weather for those high school kids.
I'll take that. Jeff, thank you.
It's going to be beautiful. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend. Go Chiefs.
Jeff Penner says, go Chiefs. Stan says the Chiefs will win by 10. Stan, thank you. College game day tomorrow with Danny Klingscale.
Yes, look forward to it.
That's right. That's Stan Weber. We'll be right back after this on WHB.